All right, this is City Hall. See, people, they trying to get rid of Rahm Emanuel, long story. I was saying that people try to get rid of Rahm Emanuel, but he's got like $9 million. You know, $9 million is a lot of money. When you have $9 million, you can take care of a lot of people, run a lot of commercials, do a lot of organizing. So it's gonna be tough to get rid of Rahm Emanuel. We'll see what happens. I have no idea. See, I'm intertwining the talk between the election of Rahm Emanuel and the public schools because that's what it's about. When you're just a regular person, when you're the mayor, you got to think of everything. But my issue I love to talk about is education, because you're not going to, right now in America, the mobility rate, the social mobility rate, economic mobility rate, whatever you want to call it, is at an all-time low. And the rich will continue to be rich, and the affluent will continue to be affluent because they go to better schools, because they have the resources. Now, I mean, only a handful, you know, right? People don't want to talk about it, but it's true. Your zip code predicts your future because your zip code predicts what type of schools you go to and what type of, you know, curriculum and all the little things they need and computers and Bunsen burners or whatever. And the quality, and also the quality of teachers you get. The lower income zip codes are not going to get the quality teachers. It's just not, and that's the problem. And it ain't going to change. So like I said, I'm not mad at Rahm Emanuel for sending his children to the University of Chicago lab school because, you know, when you're a millionaire like him, you can send your kids anywhere in the world. Don't matter. They're going to get the best education. But poor people just have to get the best education they possibly can get. I mean, and that's kind of, you know, you just, like I said a bunch of times, clean neighborhoods, safe neighborhoods with excellent schools. And your children have to get A's and B's. I don't tolerate C's in my house. My kids in college though. But you know what I'm saying. D's and F's are unacceptable. D's and F's are unacceptable. Come on, people. You can't let your kids go to school and get D's and F's. That's just stupid. It's almost criminal. It is criminal to let your children get D's and F's in schools. I mean, that's criminal. And I wanted Rahm Emanuel to do two things, which is almost impossible for big city mayors. If few have done it, you know, to some degree, is to lower the crime rate and improve the schools. And you have to do it in an age of austerity, which is really the tricky problem. The city's broke. County's doing okay. The state is broke. So that's what it is. So you have to convince lower income people to value education. You have to create some kind of cultural movement where you just say that D's and F's are unacceptable, and if you're gonna get D's and F's, we will try to help you. Because really, if you just show up to school every day, a lot of children don't do well in school because their family's so destabilized. They just don't show up in school every day. They came to school every day, they'll get at least a C, and go on and pass and graduate. And a lot of crime in places like Chicago and other cities, even small towns where there's always black people, the black boys commit crime. When their frontal lobes not fully developed, when they're teenagers, young men, young in their 20s, if they can get past, 25, I was listening to a professor, I may have told you this before, I listened to a professor from Northwestern University, and a cat actually, I think I met the cat, it's a long story. I met a lot of people being a limo driver. But the professor said was that if you get past 25 years old, you don't commit crime, it's not likely you're going to go to, the odds of you going to jail goes down way low past the age of 25. Because for most men, their frontal lobes are not fully developed until they're like 25 years old. And when you're a teenager, you're silly. Teenagers are silly. I was a silly teenager back in the day. I had some youthful indiscretions, as they say. And then a bunch of stupid stuff as a teenager. And most young men, I'll tell you, any young man, you're lucky to see your 30th birthday because all the stupid, silly, dangerous things you do in your teens and 20s. Crime, drugs, drinking and driving, the whole nine. It's dangerous. So you're lucky to see your 30th birthday because you're just a fool when you're young. So the crime problem in many big cities is a black problem. And our leaders, they've tried to change it, but it's hard because you got to have a movement where you go in and help those mothers and them young 30-year-old, 35-year-old grandmamas to raise these boys. There's Millennium Park. Millennium Park is nice in the summertime and it's nice in the wintertime. It costs $1 billion or something, but it's nice. It's really nice. So what I'm trying to say though is that Rahm Emanuel, I don't know if he can fix it. I mean, like I said, if Rahm Emanuel wins his re-election, fine. If he loses, cool. I mean, Chuy Garcia, I meant to say earlier, Chuy Garcia is his most likely strongest opponent, and Mr. Garcia may get Mr. Emanuel in a runoff. Yeah, runoff. Because if you don't get some kind of way, Mayor Daley, old Mayor Daley, not the old Mayor Daley, the last Mayor Daley, the second Mayor Daley changed the rules where if you don't get 50% of the vote, you're going to a runoff. The show is over. I'm doing the closing and for both shows. I don't know if this is part 1 or part 2 you saw. Who knows? But hopefully you enjoyed it. It was about Rahm Emanuel and the public schools and the defeat or the re-election of Rahm Emanuel and we so-called Negroes, African Americans. Okay. The point is that there's no point. Clean neighborhoods. What I do is just run my mouth. Hopefully you understand the show and you get it. It's about clean neighborhoods, safe neighborhoods with excellent schools. I'm here in downtown Chicago, which is magnificent, which is beautiful. But the neighborhoods where I live, the South Side, is, it's okay. It's slowly imploding because we just have failed leadership. We need some new leadership. And whether Rahm Emanuel wins or Chuy Garcia wins or whoever becomes the next mayor, African Americans have to just focus on their children and make sure their children do well in school. That's what it's all about. Make sure your children do well in school and your children get A's and B's in school. That's what it's all about. Make sure your children do well in school. Stay off the streets and do well in school. Maybe you can get a nice apartment like this in Lake Point Tower.